सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शांति मंत्र on page number 5. Together we will chant. Om आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रम् अतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Chandogya Upanishad 6th chapter reveals the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, and the first section which we saw yesterday, it talks about the father Uddalaka or Arunihi asking the son Svetaketu to learn the teaching by going to Gurukula. Svetaketu came back, and father saw that he was very arrogant, proud of his learning. So father asked him, did you learn that by knowing which unheard becomes heard, unthought of becomes thought of, unknown becomes known? So Svetaketu said, my teachers probably did not know that, because if they had known, they would have taught me. But now you teach me. So father begins the teaching from section 2, page number 17. Repeat after me. Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit Ekameva Dvitiyam Tadha Eke Ahu Asadevedamagra Asit Ekameva Dvitiyam Tasmad asatah sajjayata. Okay, very important portion. Very important for our understanding of truth. Also very important from the standpoint of Vedanta Siddhanta. So I told you how the flow is. Teacher is going to say that this truth is that from which the entire creation has come. And therefore, instead of knowing all the effects, if you know the cause, then you will know all. Correct? Yesterday I mentioned that. I want to see yes, no, yes, maybe. Yes. And therefore, teacher begins the teaching by revealing what is that truth, one cause from which the entire creation has come. So teacher says that truth is called Sat. In Tattvabodha, you must have heard what is Sat. Trikale api tishtati iti sat. Another definition for sat is that which is never negated. Abadhyatvam, satyatvam. Ever non-negated, non-negatable. In time, in space, that which is ever there is called sat. And therefore, this truth, sat, is the cause which was there, and this creation, idam, whatever I see, whatever I experience, was nothing but that truth alone. It was sat alone. What was the nature of that sat? Ekam eva advitiyam. Ekam, one, eva, alone, advitiyam, without the second. So, this nature is pointed out that this creation that we see now was only one truth. So then the question comes, why do you say it was one without the second in the beginning? That means now it is not one. You accept it. Asit means past. In the past, it was one. So what about now? So we say now also it is one alone. Now also it is sat. Now also it is changeless. If you want to simplify the word sat, means changeless. Absolute reality. So do we accept that now also that one truth alone exists? We say, no, now I see manyness. Now it is not advitiyam. Now it is sadvitiyam. So, Dvaitam will come in if we accept this plurality. So, how to explain this? So, we say it is this way. Earlier, these names and forms that what we see now, they all were unmanifest. All names and forms were unmanifest. And now they have become manifest. And these names and forms, they don't have the same degree of reality as Sat. The understanding of this statement will make my understanding of moksha very clear. What is moksha? What am I looking for? So generally in the circle of seekers, what are we seeking, that itself is not clear. We are seeking something. I have not understood what am I seeking. And therefore, I am struggling on this path that maybe one day I will get it, maybe one day I will get what? So here it is said, this Sat is the absolute reality, and all names and forms, they are lesser reality. They are of lesser reality. They were unmanifest and now they are manifest. So the unmanifest truth plus unmanifest world is what was there in the past. And now is the unmanifest truth plus manifest names and forms is what we experience. So truth will never take any form. When we say unmanifest means that which is not available to sense organs is what we call unmanifest. So truth was never available to sense organs. Truth is not even now available to sense organs. World was not available to sense organs. World is now available to sense organs. But because truth is absolute reality and world is only relative reality, so it is like if I have $100 bill and $100 monopoly bill. So how much do I have now? We cannot say 200. It is 100 only. Because one is real, another is unreal. So like that, truth is real, is absolute, whereas world is of lesser degree of reality, and therefore truth plus world is still one, truth alone. Ekameva advitiyam. In other words, this is what we call as Brahman is Satyam and Jagat is Mithya. Names and forms are only apparent reality. Okay? Then the Upanishad says, this Ekam Eva Advitiyam, these three words, Ekam, Eva and Advitiyam, what it is doing is, it is eliminating all kinds of divisions. So there are, all divisions can be classified into three. Take example. One is, I, the human being, this desk, this table, the chair, stage, lights, camera, all these things. So we all are different species. So we have Vijatiya Bheda. Distinction among us is of different species. Then within human beings, we have variety. Asian, American, African, Indian. Then within Indian, we have varieties. North Indian, Middle Indian, South Indian, East, West, whatever. Man, woman, young, like boy, girl, elderly. So this is another variety within human beings. First example was variety across different species. Tree, dog, cat, lion, everybody is different. Among human beings we have this variety. Then within this body there are divisions. Head is different, eyes are different, hands are different, legs are different, trunk is different. Ekam eva advitiyam says that the truth is free from the other varieties. Truth does not have species within itself, means manyness. There are not many truths and there are no divisions within that truth. So it is one homogeneous, divisionless truth. Ekam eva advitiyam. This I should understand. In other words, this truth alone appears as on this. To give you a simple example, when we go to sleep, what happens? All the names and forms, where do they go? They become unmanifest. And when I wake up, they all become manifest. So, my sleep is like a mini dissolution. It's a sample. Because you and I cannot stand there to witness dissolution. So Bhagavan said, I will give you a sample. Just look at it, what happens there. Exactly that's what happens at the time of dissolution. And the one who remains at the end of this dissolution is you, the truth. Ekam eva advitiyam. So, this is the first part. So, if this much is understood, then we say we understand the truth. Ekam eva advitiyam. Tadha eke ahu. Now, some people, they say, no. Now, who are these people? These are the Bodhatmananda. Bodhas, they say, in the beginning, Asad alone was there. Asad eva idam agra asit. Ekam eva advitiyam. So, some people say, this creation has not come from Sat or existence. This creation has come from non-existence. Non-existence means they say in the beginning there was nothing. Why are you saying there was something? Now you imagine, you start eliminating all names and forms. Mentally, in your meditation, you try to go to that point where there was no creation. So you remove all names and forms. Then you remove earth, remove water, remove fire, remove air, remove space. When we remove idea of space, what remains? When you remove idea of space also, grosser and subtler, everything will go. Gross space is what we know of. Subtler space also will go. Mind will also go. Then only the witness of absence of everything will remain. Or you say mind has become still. That truth is called Sat. So some people say, no, at that time there was nothing. Because we also feel that when nothing is, I forget to pay attention to the witness of nothing. If let's say I come to this hall first, nobody is here. So what do I say? If somebody will ask from outside, Swamiji, who is inside the hall? Nobody. To say nobody is there, I have to be there. So, if someone says no, creation has come from nothing, that is not possible, because somebody has to experience or witness the absence of everything. So this is the truth. When I sit down in meditation and when my mind becomes still, I am not aware of the world, I am not aware of anything around, then I am there who knows the world. I mean, I am there who knows the absence of the world. That nothing is also known. So, those who say that asat eva idam agra asit ekam eva advitiyam, that asat alone was there, and from that nothing came something. From that nothing came something, that view is invalid. So that it is invalid is said in the next mantra now. Kutastu khalu somya evam syaditi hovacha katham asatas sajjayet iti satveva somya idamagra asit ekameva dvitiyam. Kutastu khalu somya evam syad iti. How can he somya, means O Svetaketu, O good looking one, pleasing one, how can from non-existence existence can come? How can from non-existence existence come? Means existence have to be there in the beginning to produce something. The simplest example of this is when I experience the world, I experience it as everything is. Like I experience this as desk is, table is, person is, hall is. That means isness is experienced all the time. Therefore, that has to be there in the cause. If is not was there in the cause, non-existence was the cause, then I would experience the world as table is not, desk is not, person is not. Because the cause appears in the effect. If the cause is gold, all the effects would be experienced as gold ornaments. So everything is experienced as gold. So is the cause, therefore everything is experienced as is. If is not was in the cause, everything would be experienced as is not. So how can non-existence be the cause of creation? Existence alone has to be there in the creation. So this is actually direct attack on the Shunyavada, nihilism of Buddhism. Because in Buddhistic philosophy, it is said the creation is from nothing. And therefore, see, we say creation is from Brahman. They say creation is from nothing. So we say the goal of your life is to attain Brahman. They say the goal of your life is to attain nothing. Can you have that as goal of your life? I want to become nothing. No, we say you have to become everything. That is the goal. Atma va idagam sarva. I alone am all this. And that is what we call infinitude. At transactional standpoint, you can say I become nothing. But from absolute standpoint, I become all. So here it is said, Katham asada sajjayate, how can from non-existence, existence can come? Satveva somya idam agra asi ekameva advityam. O somya, Sat alone was there in the beginning, from that alone the entire creation has come. So these two mantras, they are actually very powerful mantras. There is a lot of debate and discussion. What is the nature of this Sat? But I should understand here for my sadhana purpose that I am that Sat, reality, one alone without the second, from which the whole creation appears. Or the whole creation was earlier in the form of Sat, where it was unmanifest, now it becomes manifest. This entire universe of names and forms, when it is unmanifest, it is called avyakta or Maya in causal form. This entire universe of names and forms in unmanifest state itself is called Maya. So what was there before creation? Brahman plus Maya. Real Brahman and unreal Maya. Therefore, they are only one. As I told you, $100 plus 100 monopoly. So 100 only. This we have to be clear. So we never say Brahman is one, Maya is second. So there are two. We don't say like that. Even though Maya is always present, real Brahman plus unreal Maya will make it only one. Unmanifest world now has become manifest. But Sat is always there. Okay, so now manyness has to take place. So now creation is explained in brief. And we have to know this so that whenever I see creation, from the effect I can take my mind to cause. This is the idea. To give you an example, this desk you see here, right? So if we know that this desk is nothing but wood, so every time I see desk, the wood thought comes. This is wood. So when you are pricing, you price it according to wood. Now if instead of wood, this was silver, then you will see it is a desk. But in pricing, you would think of cost of silver only. So like that, when I see the effect, if I know the cause, then even if I am transacting with the effect, my understanding will be, it is the cause. I will not lose sight of cause. That is why this analysis is done. This analysis is not done because this Swami has nothing else to do. So he goes on giving talks and people come here thinking, chalo, if he is there, let us listen to something. This analysis is so that whenever I see the effect in my mind, the cause idea comes. Okay, so now creation is explained. Now generally we take 5 elements, right? Space, air, fire, water, earth. Space, air, fire, water, earth, 5 elements. But in this Upanishad is talking about only 3. Space and air are not discussed. Why? Because they are in unmanifest form. So they say we will talk about fire, water and earth. You understand 3, then you can extrapolate. Okay? So simplify it a little. So let us see now creation process. Page number 21. Tadaikshat bahusyam prajaye yeti tattejo asrujat tatteja aikshat bahusyam prajaye yeti tad apo asrujat tasmad yatra kvacha shochati svedadeva purushah tejasah eva tad adhyapo jayante. Now, creation means, is it something which was not there and comes into existence, or something which was already there but unmanifest and comes into existence, manifestation? So about this also there are a lot of debates. Our purpose here in these few days is not to get into those debates, because then we will not be able to do justice to the entire chapter. But what I am trying to tell you is, as a student of philosophy, all these points are taken up for discussion. Whether it is something which was not there that comes into being, or something which is already there comes into being. For example, clay pot. Yesterday I told you about the clay pot. So clay pot is already existing in clay, unmanifest. That unmanifest clay pot in clay means the name and form is there. The pot maker gives that shape to clay and says, here, now it is available. Like that, all our bodies are nothing but combination of 5 elements. So all these bodies, all the stage, wall, ceiling, whatever that we see here, everything is there in unmanifest form. And they just come out. Like children also, the entire design is there in the DNA. Then it just becomes bigger, manifest. Then those disease also, if they are there, they will also express. Any qualities are there, they will also express. So everything is there in this seed form. The entire tree is present in seed form. So like that, entire creation is there. Now to bring it out, there has to be a visualization. Ikshanam it is called. So tad aikshata. So that truth is as though visualizing. Remember, when we said truth is visualizing, truth is absolute reality. It cannot visualize. Truth presided over Maya. Through Maya is visualizing, not absolute truth. So that Maya part you have to supply. Absolute truth cannot do anything. It is useless. Because it is absolute. It is not transaction. If you want to use it for something, the absolute cannot be transacted. It is beyond time and space. Absolute truth is me. When I know that, then I am free. This is the use of absolute truth. Absolute truth is not for activity. I am absolute reality, this I have to know. Therefore, nothing of the world can touch me. This is moksha. So if I say, oh, I am so disturbed, who is disturbed? Transactional reality or absolute reality? Absolute reality cannot get disturbed. And as far as transactional reality is concerned, there is no such thing that it will not get disturbed. It is only a matter of time. Here and there, that's all. So if I understand this, this is my nature, I am free here and now. Brahman plus Maya, real Brahman plus unreal Maya is doing ikshanam now. Tada ikshat, what does it say? Bahusyam prajaye iti. May I become many, may I have manyness. So I am one, may I become many. So this is called visualization. In other words, how that one truth started expressing as many. See, common man never has this question. What is common man's question? When I go back, will there be a lot of traffic on road or not? This is his question. Or, I had some dinner before I came here. After going home, will I eat something before I sleep or not? Tomorrow, what time I should go? What should I have for breakfast? Common man's questions are like this. Or we are preparing something at home, some wedding is there, this, that. But if we want to think how creation started, so for that, whatever is already created will not be there before creation. So that from one truth, how did manyness come? So in science, now they say it is Big Bang theory. So there was a Big Bang. Big Bang actually doesn't mean a lot of noise. A bang. Big Bang means what they are trying to say is something inexplicable happened. And suddenly things started evolving. That inexplicable power we call Maya. Because we don't know how that one can become many. But by the word ikshanam, aikshata means that there is consciousness principle in the beginning of creation, not matter. Because matter by itself cannot multiply. Do you agree or not? If matter by itself could multiply, we would leave 2 chairs here in the hall and go out and we will have 200 chairs. Can the matter multiply by itself? No. Some sentient entity has to do that. So here also, if from that one truth, manyness has come, Chaitanya has to be there in the origin of creation. Therefore we say that Chaitanya which presides over all matter is Bhagavan. That Bhagavan is present everywhere all the time. This is how the idea comes in religion. So wherever there is matter, there is consciousness. This is Bhagavan. So from philosophical standpoint, this is how God should be understood. That if I experience gross matter or subtle matter or unmanifest matter, consciousness is present in all of them. That consciousness which is present everywhere with matter, that is called God. So there is nothing which is outside of God, outside of Bhagavan. Now that you call as Narayana, that you call as Shiva, that you call as Rameshwara, you give whatever name. And if I don't understand that, I have not understood what is Bhagavan. That Bhagavan is what I see. That Bhagavan is painted here in this hall. That is what is revealed in Puranas. That is the one which is my goal. That is Dakshinamurti. That alone comes as Guru. This is idea of Bhagavan. So, whatever I experience is effect of that Bhagavan, that Paramatma. This is what we call, yesterday I told you, this is Tatpada. This is Tatpada Vichara. When we say devotion, devotion to whom? Bhagavan is to be understood in this way. From that Chaitanya Swarupa Paramatma presiding over Maya, visualization of manyness comes. And when he says, may I become many, means Paramatma doesn't become many. Can Paramatma become many? Yes, no. Paramatma cannot become many because it is absolute. Nothing can touch that Paramatma. Paramatma says, may I become many means, may my Maya express as many. Like, let's say if I say, may I become many, and I go to a room full of mirrors. So when I say, I have become many, means what? I have not become many. I see my expressions in various conditionings. Conditionings are many. So when Paramatma says, may I become many, means may my Maya become many. Bahusyam prajayet. So then what happened? Tat tejo asrajat, first the fire came. Fire means heat element or warmth. So that warmth. So you have to understand, space was there first. First space came, then air came, then came fire. Then that fire started thinking. Tat tej aishat bahusyam, he said, I also should become many. So remember, fire doesn't think that I should become many. That consciousness presiding over fire says, may I become many. Consciousness you have to supply everywhere. So we don't say this is matter. We say this is consciousness. Expressing through matter. Who am I? When we say I am talking to people, am I talking to matter or am I talking to consciousness expressing through matter? Consciousness expressing through matter. And when I say I am talking, matter is talking or consciousness expressing through matter is talking? Consciousness. Everything is consciousness. Matter by itself cannot do anything. So whole world also, when it multiplies, by itself, there is no such thing possible. So the fire is also visualizing Bahusyam Prajayeti Tad Apo Asrujata. From fire came waters. Tasmat, therefore, Yatra Kvacha Shochati Svedhateva Purusha. If there is any person in whom there is lot of heat, then what will happen? If he is too anxious, too heated up, then water will come out. Means lot of tears. Or if his body is hot, he is exercising too much, then water will come out, sweat. So fire will produce water. Shochati svedhateva. Sved means sweating. Sved, sweat. Svedhateva purushaha tejasaha eva tad adhyapo jayante. From that fire alone, water comes. Now from water, what is happening? Next mantra. Ta apa aikshanta bhvyasyama prajaye mahiti taha annam asrjanta tasmad yatra kvacha varshati tadeva bhuvishtham annam bhavati advya eva tad adhyanadyam jayate. So now that waters, taha apa aikshanta bahvyasyama prajaye mahiti, may we become many, may we produce many. So what did it do? Water produced earth. Annam here means earth. This chapter, just to give you some idea, this is discussed in Brahma Sutra many times. This chapter. You know Brahma Sutra. Means you heard of what is Brahma Sutra, right? The sutra is written by Vedavyasi. This is one of the highly discussed chapters. So your thorough understanding of this will make a lot of other things. If you study more texts later, they all will become clear. So from earth, from water came earth. Annam. Annam is earth. Annam asrjanta. And therefore, wherever there is lot of water, there is lot of annam. So where there is lot of rain, lot of food grows. Tasmad yatra kvacha varshati tadeva bhuvishtham annam bhavati. Adbhya eva tad adhi annadyam jayate. Therefore, from that rain alone, water alone, more food is produced. This is simple explanation. Somebody said, what do I have to do with this? So as I told you, the point here is, whatever I see as effect, from there I should be able to shift my attention to cause. So if that cause comes to my mind, then I am relaxed. I have not lost sight of truth. And teacher is going to explain now in next two sections how to do it. Because they know that it is not natural for us. So some analysis will be explained, simple, how to go from effect to cause. Okay. So in the next section now, teacher explains that how this one Sat, the cause is called Sat. From Sat came fire. From fire came water. From water came, so Teja, Sat, Teja, Up, Annam. Teja, up, up means water, and Annam means earth, from Sat. So he says, this alone, Tesham eva. Now let's read the next one, section 3. Tesham khalvesham bhutanam trini eva bijani bhavanti andajam jivajam udbijjam iti. He says, 3 types of bodies are produced. 3 types. So final product. What is the final product? Andajam. Andajam means those bodies which are produced from eggs. So that is one variety. Jivajam. Jivajam means we all. Those who are not produced from egg, they are directly produced from another being. One being coming from another being. Like cows, etc. Us. And udbijjam, those which break the earth and come out. The plants, etc. And in some text, 4th variety is also given, Svedajam, coming from the moisture. Svedajam means from moisture. So, these 4 varieties are present here. The whole creation finally is this. So, where is Sat? Then from Sat came fire, water, earth. And final product is all these beings, Andajam, Svedajam, Udbijjam, Jivajam or Jarayujam. So, I see people and I have to think of Sat. I see animals, I have to think of Sat. I see something ordinary, I have to think of the truth. So, those steps are to be understood. So, now in the next mantra, that is explained how it happens. This is again very important mantra, page number 26. Seyam devata aikshat anta aham imaha tisro devataha anena jivena atmana anupravishya nama rupe vyakaravani Sa iyam devata aikshate. So now what happened? You have fire, you have water, you have earth. And you have Sat. But that Sat has to enliven these things. Means they all have to express as consciousness. For example, if there is another combination of 5 elements present somewhere, where there is no expression of consciousness, then we cannot call that as a man or woman. It is only matter. So, in this creation, when the fire, water or anything at total level, when it expresses, it has to have expression of consciousness present there. Our body is what generally matter, right? This is all matter. What is mind? Matter or consciousness? Matter. It is subtle matter. This is gross matter, it is subtle matter, it is matter only. How can matter think? Matter cannot think. Unless there is expression of consciousness in that matter. So, in the this is actually, these topics are so subtle that unless we give time, first thing is we should love this thinking. When we love, we will give time. And this is subtle also. Because if you say, tell me a story, and I tell you half an hour long story, I'm saying, Swamiji, we love you, you are a good storyteller. But in story, there are all objects. Here it requires conceptualization. There are no characters. So I have to take my mind to those subtler things. Correct? And so now you know the difficult task I have. And when I look at you and some of you look at me like this. So I feel that I have a tough audience in front of me. So even if you are not getting anything, just smile at me. So I feel, okay, something is good here. Sa iyam devata aishat. This devata, the truth, Paramatma, said, I have to express here myself now. Otherwise this matter, subtle matter also, will not be able to act. This is how in creation, so now you understand. First is Sat, right? Then Sat is associated with Maya. So Sat is called Brahman. Brahman plus Maya is called Ishvara. I think you have said this. Now from Ishvara, next stage of creation is Hiranyagarbha. Have you heard this word? Yes. So how this Hiranyagarbha comes into being, that is this mantra. Now you know the Hiranyagarbha word itself, we think what is this? So Hiranyagarbha means that in whose garbha all Hiranya means all gold, means all precious things are hidden. All of that is now going to start expressing. This is Hiranyagarbha. So all that unmanifest is now ready to express. This is Hiranyagarbha. So what does this Sat thing? Hanta aham imaha tisro devataha anena jivena atmana anupravishya namarupe vyapravanti. I am going to enter in these, means I will express in this matter now, so that this matter has as though ability to create more, manifest in many forms. Remember, there is no such dialogue or thinking. There is somebody sitting here, is matter, fire is here, water, I am going to enter here, I am going to enter. No, this idea is to communicate how this matter is able to slowly grow. Like how fire has a dharma of heat, water has the dharma of cooling, earth has the dharma of fragrance. How these things have come? Some Chaitanya is expressing there. So never think all this is matter around us. This is how generally we think, everything is matter, and in this big matter of 75 kilograms or whatever, 170 pounds, there is a little consciousness. It is not like that. That is not Vedanta. Everything is consciousness. That's why we say Bhagavan is everywhere. We don't say Bhagavan is somewhere in Vaikuntha only or in Kailash only. And I'll have to go there, see him, come back, and then now I don't know where he is. That is not the idea. Bhagavan is everywhere only if consciousness is everywhere. Means wherever there is matter, consciousness is expressing through that. That is called anena jivena atmana anupravisha. I will now express with that conditioning. Jiva here means with conditioned form I will express now. Atmana anupravishya. I will enter into all. Like, to give simple example, electricity is there, right? This electricity, unless it expresses through these bulbs, its expression is not available as light. Unless it expresses through this fan, its expression is not available as air conditioning or heater. Unless it expresses through this, sound is not available. So, electricity is there, equipments are there, electricity has to express through it. This is called anena jivena atmana anupravishya nama rupe vyakaravani. I will express through many names and forms. So those names and forms are fire expresses in sun, in moon, in fire, in lightning. What are all these? These are different expressions of fire. Like that water and earth, though so much variety is there. Every kind of food that comes on our table is what? Earth only. But, or whatever fragrances we have, like you say, jasmine flower, rose flower, lotus, what are all these? This is earth. All different juices. What are they? Different extracts mixed in liquid. Variety. So in that, if I see consciousness because of which this variety is available, my mind will be on that truth all the time. So Paramatma says, I will express through all this. Anena jivena atmana anupravishya. Nam rupe vyakaravani. Vyakaravani means I will become many in different names and forms. So when we see all these colors also, people wear so many varieties of clothes. What are they? They all are expression of that one thing. You say earth, with different fibers, different cotton, everything multiply. Endless. Shopping mall, food mall, ice cream shop, have so many flavors. What are all those? One thing, many names, all sugar is there, but different flavor. Oh, I like this, oh, I like that. Cotton candy. Your whole tongue will become blue. Anena jivena atmana anupravishyanam. Then what happened? So now these next two mantras on next page, 3 and 4, I will explain you with the chart which is given on page 29, I think. Next page. So you might have heard of what is called Panchikaranam. Okay. Have you heard of Panchikaranam in any Upanishad? Because remember, Panchikaranam you might have seen in Tattva-bodha or Vivek Chudamani or Atma-bodha, Panchadashi. But they are Prakarana Granthas. Prakarana Grantha is not Pramana. Upanishad is Pramana. In which Upanishad you saw Panchikaranam? It is this Upanishad. Now here, there is no Panchikaranam because there are not 5 elements. How many elements are there? Therefore here it is Trivrit Karanam. Trivrit Karanam. Remember, Upanishad is Pramana. This Trivrit Karana of Chandogya and 5 elements from Taittiriya Upanishad, you put together and infer Panchikaranam. Trivrit Karan. This is called Trivrit Karan. Trivrit Karan from here. 5 elements from Taittiriya Upanishad. You put together and you say, this is how Panchikaranam must have happened. Now what is Trivrit Karanam? Trivrit Karanam means each element is separate. Now these elements have to come together so that from subtle form they become gross. So first I will tell you in simple words and then we will see this chart and we will conclude today. Okay. So let us say there were 3 friends. 3 friends. Each person had $2. $1 bill and 2 half dollars. I don't know, there are half dollars or not. There are, okay. 50 cents. Each of them. So, they met together. It must be Diwali time, you know. So they say, let's have some exchange of things. So each fellow kept $1 with himself and the other 50 cents that he had, one he gave to one friend, another he gave it to another friend. So at the end of this transaction, each one did the same thing. At the end, each one had how much money? $2. $1 of their own, 50 cents from each of the other. This is called Trivrit Karan. So there was $1 of fire, 50 cents of water and 50 cents of earth. So fire had 50% of its own, 25% of the other two. Earth, water also had the same, 50%, means $1 of its own, 50 cents of the other two. And earth also had the same. Like this, other elements got mixed with each element. This is how the elements became grosser. This is called grossification. So subtle elements becoming gross. Now here so the chart, if you see, first let us complete this chart. So it's very simple. The subtle element is shown at level 1, then fire, water, earth. So they got divided into 2. Then the other 2 divided into further 2. Then fire, water, earth, fire, earth, fire, water. So this is how the, after merger, gross elements came into being. Now somebody may question, why you want to have first subtle elements, then only gross elements? Why can't you just have gross elements to begin with? You only complicate everything. Then you go on teaching us. Then until our questions get answered, you say, don't worry, I will go on teaching. Why? Just simplify everything. So why do we need subtle elements to begin with? So the answer is this. In this creation, we have gross things and we also have subtle things. Gross things are our body. Physical body is gross. But our mind and sense organs, they are all subtle. Not sense organ as in this hand or this eye. The ability to see, the ability to work. Many times, if somebody has hand, but there is no ability to move this hand, the hand will not move. It will just stay there. Or sometimes, we have ears, but ability of hearing is gone. Can't hear anything. So, gross things are there and they are made up of gross elements. But subtle things are also there and their cause has to be subtle. This is what you have studied in Tattva Bodha. Right? So, these subtle elements are the cause of subtle aspects of creation, and you cannot deny it. If we don't take into consideration this, then you will not be able to explain mind and thoughts. If I cannot see your mind, I cannot see your thoughts. But I cannot say you don't have mind. Your feelings, your expressions, love, compassion, everything. So subtle elements are there and that creation is there. And then gross elements are also there. So all minds are subtle matter. And therefore, these jivas, they are not formed now. Jivas are already existing. Bodies are getting formed and destroyed. New jivas are not created. This is a fascinating topic actually. You understood when I say no new jivas are created? So all jivas are already there in this cosmos. Only somebody is going from one body to another body, one loka to another loka. Somebody appears somewhere, somebody disappears from somewhere. That's all. That is happening. Within a creation, this game goes on. So we should never feel that what will happen to me after death. Another body will be ready. Another place will be there. Somewhere we will end up. This is how this is going on. Remember, when we say we are Vedic thinkers, we accept to begin with that I am not this body. I am soul in this body. This is to begin with. Then the real nature of this soul is Brahman. That is next step. So I am that reality which right now, because of conditioning things, I am soul. But I am soul. Now when I get too much attached to this body, then I start thinking I am body, then male, female, etc. Then I get too much attached to that place and I am Californian. Then if I get too much attached to some place, then I am from LA only. So this is further and further attachment. Where I am Brahman all pervading, where I am identified with one body, one location, very restricted. So I have to detach myself. So this is Trivrit Karanam. And the fourth section is, as I told you yesterday, as I told you today, it is about like how fire expressed as gross fire, sun, moon, lightning, all of them. So only short explanation is there. This we will see tomorrow, section 4. Tomorrow also another important topic that is going to come about food. Somebody asked me today, this food thing is, what is it that constitutes my mind? If all of us eat the same food, why different people think differently? Because in the farm, it is all same, right? So much wheat, so much rice, so much corn is there. But when it comes to individual, by then something has changed. What is that? Tomorrow that topic will come. And how I can purify my mind just by focusing on food aspect. That also will come tomorrow. Okay? So one aspect I think we know, sattvic food, right? But just because you go in Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, doesn't mean everyone who eats there is sattvic. So there is something more that we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.